The Model Health Show is presented to you by Shawn Stevenson with RareGem Productions. For more information, visit theshawnstevensonmodel.com.
Welcome to the Model Health Show. This is your host, nutritionist Shawn Stevenson, and I'm here with my lovely co-host and producer, Jade Harrell. How are you doing today, Jade?
I'm doing fantastic today.
Yes,
Very
you
glad
are.
to be here.
Yes,
Thank
you are.
Give thanks.
Well, we decided that we're going to go ahead and jump right in today and get into what I feel to be the biggest topic in health and nutrition in the entire world, which is heart disease.
Oh, dear, yes.
All right. And why this is such a big thing, let me throw some statistics out at you. Every year, over 600,000 people actually die from heart disease.
Wow.
Now, what that accumulates to is actually every day, 2,200 people.
That's ridiculous.
Every single day die from heart disease, cardiovascular diseases in general.
Oh, my.
You know,
Oh,
it's such a
my.
big issue.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. So is it still at the top of the list as the number one killer of women?
It is the number one killer of everybody, you know, and this is actually the World Health Organization. Mm-hmm. You know, here in the United States, yes, it's a much bigger issue, but across the entire world, it's a very big issue, and it's something that needs to be discussed. Definitely.
Is it our fault?
You know it is. You know the answer to that. And this is something that absolutely has a solution. And why I want to address this is that right now, 1 in 3 people are dealing with this. And like I said, it has some solutions. But the main thing is understanding and uncovering what are the actual causes of this, what's known as a silent killer.
Yeah,
you know,
not
because
so silent with those numbers.
Exactly.
Speaking loud and clear, but we're not listening.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what we're going to talk about, because our body is giving us feedback.
Okay.
But oftentimes, you know, people come in, you know, I see my clients at my office or maybe at the gym, and they're like, you know, I was just with such and such the other day, and they just died of a heart attack. You know, somebody who's in their 30s or 40s. And, you know, they're like, it came out of nowhere.
30s and 40s.
A lot of times they'll tell me, you know, they worked out, or, you know, they ate healthy, or, you know, a lot of times actually, you know, there's none of the above. But
well, you know, we're thinking we're doing the right things.
Exactly. And that's another big issue for sure. So it's something that, you know, a lot of people, it comes out of nowhere seemingly, but our body does give us a lot of feedback, a lot of warning signs
so not
that we need to
such a
check into.
complete surprise.
Exactly.
All right.
You
Tell
know?
us what we need to know and actually hear
Okay.
from our bodies.
All right. Well, the first thing to understand, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to dissect some of the big overarching common causes.
Okay.
All right. According to conventional understanding, conventional medicine. All right. The first one, the big gun here, is this dirty C word, cholesterol.
Dun,
All right.
dun, dun.
And cholesterol is commonly considered to be the causative factor of heart disease, right? Now, we've got over 40 million people on statin drugs right now for this purpose. But here's the thing, and if everybody can get this, it's going to blow your mind. You're going to really take away something huge from this.
Okay.
50% of the people who have cardiovascular disease do not have high cholesterol.
Come on.
Okay, 50% don't have it. So how is it possibly the causative factor?
Right.
All right, it doesn't make any logical sense.
Ha.
Okay, so it's something that we've been sold and marketed to as this cause, and all these people are walking around taking their statins.
That's right.
And not understanding
That
that
high
cholesterol
cholesterol
is not the issue. It's not the issue in any form or fashion. As a matter of fact, and this is why I love that we can do this show together, we can deter a little bit and come back to the main subject, but cholesterol is actually one of the most important nutrients the body needs.
But we're running from it.
Exactly. You know, I just did a talk yesterday about testosterone, you know, and all these men in their 20s and 30s dealing with low testosterone, like 1 in 3, which is totally crazy.
Yes.
Cholesterol is actually the seed, it's the root of your testosterone getting built.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So if you're taking a statin to lower your cholesterol,
right.
you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, a few
Okay.
actually.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about, you know, erectile dysfunction and sexual dysfunction and all kinds of things like that. Decrease in your just overall strength and tenacity. Women have testosterone too, obviously, and of course, but it's really that thing that makes a man, and it's something we need to respect. And a lot of times we go in, we see our practitioner, and we let him know, hey, I've got these issues going on, and he runs some tests and he tells you have, high cholesterol, and then he gives you a statin, and you just accept it. Your liver is actually what's producing the cholesterol. Okay. It's not coming directly from the food you eat. Eating cholesterol does not create cholesterol in your body. So the statins basically interact with and trick your liver into not producing the cholesterol. Okay. Right. So now here's one of the big side effects of the cholesterol. A number of studies have linked statins to liver problems, acute kidney failure, and muscle damage.
Muscle damage.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
That is.
So directly linked, when you're taking these particular drugs, they will have side effects because they are not natural things. It's something that your body has not been exposed to, and these are recent inventions. And your body is a very, very ancient.
How about that?
Yeah.
And it's really like a new set of instructions.
Yeah.
The drug comes in and alters your instruction. And so, well, here's a change of plans, or here's a second sheet in order to follow, and changes the whole harmony of that.
Exactly.
Which is where we get the side effects.
And those different symptoms that we experience, that's feedback from our body. This very, very intelligent, I wouldn't even call it a machine. I wouldn't do that. Creation, this very, very intelligent creation, and it's giving you feedback, when you have low energy, or you're having headaches, or you're having stomach problems, or you're having muscle aches, or whatever the case may be. It's giving you feedback that you need to change. It's not giving you feedback that you're deficient on a statin. We don't need a drug to try and fix this.
Get that out of here.
It's a big problem now, because most of us have grown up in a paradigm to where when you see the doctor, they know best. They've went to school and gotten a degree, and they are wearing the white coat, and they know what's best for you. And you actually live with you all the time.
Yeah.
And they're with you for a few minutes, but
we don't live with us with all of the heart disease and the symptoms that go on, and we don't know what to do with that stuff.
Yeah, just
so then we turn to them and now you to get an idea. Well, what's happening here?
Yeah, yeah. But
then it comes back to us. It's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Man.
And it's really changing right now. We're at a really wonderful time, and I'm a part of that, and I'm so honored and happy about it that more people are starting to look at the lifestyle factors and not just diving right into taking drugs and of course doing that in a method to treat symptoms rather than actually taking care of the underlying cause. For the longest, doctors would say, of course you need to look at your diet, manage your weight, and things like that. Very general things, because they didn't really know.
It would not be, you go to the doctor's office, it would not be the thing that is the most pronounced in what they're saying to you. The thing that you hear the loudest, or that's the most emphasized, is here's this prescription, take it to the pharmacy.
Right.
You don't hear, change what you're doing. Here's something you might could do in your life. Here's something you may want to pay close attention to. It's kind of a side note or a subline in what we're receiving.
I've talked with a lot of doctors, and a lot of doctors over the years have sent their clients to me, and also I've worked with a lot of doctors. So what they've told me is that oftentimes they would just prescribe medication because they know the person won't listen to them.
Oh, wow. Because they know we wouldn't do it.
Yeah, because it's so much easier for them to just take a pill, and then they can keep them alive. That's what they would tell me multiple occasions. And the funny thing is, they're listening to you to take a pill. They'll listen to you if you use enough authority and you actually take the time and relate to that person, understand what's going on in their life, and try to help them set up their life in a way that they can win. Right. And it's become this big factory line thing when you're going to see your practitioner nowadays.
It is.
And it has to change.
That's pretty disheartening, because if why are they in it? Are you in it to make us well, or you just get so Maybe they get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Things that, as you say, can be simple, it can be simple solutions. Maybe they want to deal with something more challenging and more engaging. Like, wow, we've got this major issue happening with humankind that we can put all of our great knowledge to work. But then it boils down to simple day-to-day things that, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Why don't we?
You just said it. A lot of doctors also, when I talk to them, they got into it for the purpose of helping people. They wanted to help people. But once you get into it, like you get into the day-to-day, it is likely, if not one of the most grueling occupations you can be in. You're around sickness all day, every day. And the hours, a lot of my clients are doctors and nurses. I work with a lot of nurses. And they're generally some of the sickest, unhealthy people that I know. And I survey them and I ask, at your office, at your hospital, how many of the nurses are fit, from the outside? Like you can just kind of look and see. And they'll generally, they'll be like maybe 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10.
Oh, my.
3 out of 10, I heard one time, but usually it's like 2 out of 10.
Very low.
And these are the people that are stepping up and these are really, really smart people,
Right.
who are choosing to help with the health and wellness of our society, but they themselves are not doing well.
So,
we've got to have a big makeover from the ground up.
Yeah, we do.
And I really feel, again, those beginning seeds are starting to get planted and things are changing. But right now, for the listeners who are in the medical profession, the greatest thing that you can do is be the example yourself. I promise you that. And it's going to take some work. It's going to, especially with the busy, hectic schedule. But you've got to believe that, the universe is going to cater to your song and help you to create the life that you want. But you've got to make a decision about it. A good story comes to mind. A nurse client that I'm working with currently, she came to an event that I was speaking at. And at the end, I opened it up for questions and she raised her hand and she's like, well, I've been doing this and that and I'm trying to lose weight and I just can't seem to. And I asked, so what do you do for a living? And she said, well, I'm a nurse. And I was like, so what shift do you work? She was like, well, I work the overnight shift. And I was like, well, I'm not going to talk to you or work with you until you get off that shift. Right. Next question. And I was being kind of mean and I came back to her. I said I was just kidding. And I broke down the understanding that, doing that shift work, automatically your cortisol, your stress hormones are much higher in the time when you should be asleep and melatonin should be high. And cortisol is basically, it's a hormone that's going to trigger your body to store more fat. And it's going to also at a point start to break down your muscle tissue, turn it into energy. And you're going to intrinsically want to eat more carbohydrates, AKA sugar, because you're sleepy, So all these things were stacked against her. She didn't even know it,
And by you telling her story, I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, well, what's this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing going on?
Cookie Monster turns on, man.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I almost step back and say, well, why does it feel so out of control? And it's all carb.
Yeah. Your body, your physiology knows that that's quick energy. Like you can get it in and get some energy because you really shouldn't be up. What your body really wants to do is sleep. So Now I'm bringing this story up to say, she came to see me and I had to reframe her because she had this big story. You don't understand. I can't find anywhere else to work. No, I have all these bills to pay and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I reframed her to open up her mind for the possibility and to focus on that. And within, it might have been 5 or 6 weeks, she found a new position with a day shift, making a little bit more money.
No.
Working with people that she liked, all this changed seemingly overnight. And before she met me, it wasn't even a possibility.
It wasn't. It didn't exist.
So
what was the key to opening her mind?
Wow. Well, the first thing is getting yourself to a place of, like I just said, hearing your story, hearing your negative story that you're telling yourself and to stop believing it. It's not just don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you hear in your own head, because it's just that programming from society. It's not you. The real you, the eternal you, knows that there's always a solution. There can't be a solution without a problem. A problem without a solution. It's like two sides of the same coin. There can't even be a problem if there wasn't a solution, because we wouldn't even have the concept that this thing could not be. I hope that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah.
But when you leave this room, will it make sense when the car monster shows up?
Oh, man. The car monster, it's a beast that can be tamed, Rather than it controlling you, you have to control it. And it's a very simple thing. It's just understanding our basic nature, which is the first thing is obviously, and we can get into these key points of helping to address heart disease in a moment, but making sure that you're getting the sleep that your body requires. This is not new. Your body's been built in a certain way that when it gets dark, you're supposed to be sleeping. But with our technology today, we can open up that laptop, do the laptop lap dance, as I like to say, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, and, just like, turn into like a Las Vegas strip club or nightclub or whatever right in our house, And it's just really, it's something, if you're going to be the fittest, healthiest, most attractive, greatest version of yourself, you're going to have to honor these laws of the body, This is a great place to wrap.
Place to start. From the heart.
From the heart.
From the heart. Well,
Absolutely.
From there, everything else will flow.
Exactly.
It must.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, I look forward to where we go next. And immediately, I'm going to go get some water.
For sure. I'm thirsty. I hope you're thirsty. Go get some water, everybody.
Right.
So I want to thank you for tuning in to the Model Health Show, and make sure for more after the show, you head over to theshawnstevensonmodel.com. That's where you can find the show notes. And if you got any questions or comments, make sure to let me know. And please head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and let everybody know that our show is awesome and you're loving it. Yeah. And I read all the comments, so please leave me a comment there. And take care, everybody. Promise to keep giving you more powerful, empowering, great content to help transform your life. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening. Your mind and your body are the most important assets you have. Learn how to maximize your potential and create a body and life you love. For more information, visit theshawnstevensonmodel.com.